is that hat? Hat.
We are
Are we live?
we are live. If you can get that up on Twitter and TikTok, I'll get Instagram and put this thumbnail in, which is
Mhm.
glorious.
Yeah, I don't see any. I don't see the thumbnail, but it's fine.
Yeah, it's not in yet. That's why. It's a really patriotic thumbnail.
That's great to hear.
You're gonna love everything about this.
If it's not there when I copy the link, is it going to show up eventually?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Thank you so much. And I'm putting the hashtags in now, so this will reach more people, which is nice.
Hmm.
Yeah, we are live, so it should be a great week. Oh, yes. Thumbnail is uploaded.
Hmm. I don't know. Yeah. Mm. Did you? Is there a way to put a link on the TikTok story or no?
No.
Just okay.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, did you post where?
Yeah. I said no. I don't want the volume on the TikTok. Mm-hmm.
I'm looking forward to this course. I like this course for no good reason. I think I just like that Spieth plays well there.
One second. Oh, that's just really poor. Whatever. That's fine. 1 second.
Oh, well, Ryan um, leaves. Welcome to everyone who is here for our chase for the Grand Slam. The chase for the
We
Grand Slam is on.
just came back, and yes, that's the most important thing in the golf world this week, not the TGL playoffs,
No, not at all.
not
Have
Jordan
you been
Spieth.
able to see the thumbnail yet?
No, let me check it out.
I posted on the Scratch story with the link.
That took you 10 minutes.
Well, it wouldn't download was the problem.
Okay. Yeah, so I mean it's fitting because we are going for the Grand Slam. We are going for not first base, not second base, not third base. We're going for home plate, four in a
Yeah.
row, touch 'em all, Joe, of
Yeah.
golf outrights consecutively.
Yeah. And this is our second time going for the Grand Slam. Don't fret if we don't hit it this week. It took Rory a few times. So
Yes, it took Rory.
if we don't get it in our second try, it'll come eventually.
Do you remember
Um,
when it was the first time? I have zero recollection.
it would have been the US Open PGA's 2013 Masters.
What?
No.
I'm talking about when we hit three in a row outrights.
Oh,
Not when
I
he
thought
was
you meant
going for the
Rory's
Grand Slam.
first go.
Attempt at it? No.
Oh,
That was Spieth's first
no, I
time.
don't remember when our
Yeah,
first time was,
I have no
to be
clue.
honest, now I think
But
about it.
it's not important. We're forward looking. I'm a forward looking golf person. Kind of why My correct takes were what they were last night about the PGA Championship and the players, but that's besides the point. We're not going to touch on that tonight.
Yeah.
Tonight is all about the Valspar Championship. Um, we have to touch on three things tonight. First, we usually do a little bit of a course preview. We can touch on some guys that we're not betting and just some thoughts on their week this week, and then we can go into our card. Where would you like to start?
Well, I mean, I'll start with the course. I think it's a good course. I don't think it's a great course. I think it's a good course. I think it's pretty well rated. I don't think anyone thinks this is the best course on tour. I don't think anyone thinks that it's the worst course on tour. It's just very average, I think, and I think it's perfectly rated. Well, actually, it's above average for PGA Tour standards, of course, but
It's probably
um,
a top 10 course on tour
it
for a
probably
reason.
is. Yeah, no, it probably is. And our man Jordan Spieth plays well there, so obviously um, we like to see this tournament come around. It did stink we didn't play there for a few years, but
Hmm.
yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. I think it's a good chance for Spieth to give himself a chance for the Masters. I think that if he doesn't play well this week, he's basically eliminated. So it's gonna have to be good, but
Hmm.
we shall see if it works out. And
Yeah, it's a very weird course. Has it like it doesn't really have like a defining characteristic. It doesn't really have like a visual component that just like sticks in your memory. I'm talking really from my perspective, but I feel like that's kind of a at least a somewhat shared consensus about it. But it's a really like raggedy course. It's not well manicured, and I said it in a positive way. Not to say it's in poor condition, but it's not manicured in the way that Sawgrass is. It's not manicured in the way that Muirfield is. It kind of looks like a little run down, but in a good way. That kind of makes it a tougher test. These guys don't face kind of conditions and like grass on the fairways that are a little more bare. The rough, you might have some dirt lies in the rough here, while there's also some thick rough, of course. Which the biggest thing on this course, which I don't know why I don't remember it because I have watched this tournament a decent amount, but apparently it's a very penal course off the tee if you miss these fairways. Similar to Sawgrass, not as important as last week, but data golf has like its biggest point that you got to hit fairways here. So
yeah, I would push back on that by saying I think the statistics are a little misleading. Your driver doesn't have to be that great this week. You just can't. Well, first of all, you can't hit in the water, and two, you can't get aggressive with your driver when you really just should be hitting irons. That's really what it is. So
that's fair.
driving accuracy, yes, is important, but that's because there are a lot of non-drivers off the tee. On the holes you're hitting driver, the misses aren't that penal, I don't feel like from what I remember.
That's why I also was like little.
So I do think it's a little misleading. I did see that driving accuracy was the highest rated um, stat that you need going in your favor this week, but I don't think that it's necessarily the club of driver that I would put that in. It's more just like you got to hit fairways, and a lot of times you're just not taking driver to hit those fairways. If you're missing
Mhm.
fairways with irons and missing in bad spots when you do have driver, big, that's where you get into
Yeah,
trouble. It's a really well-rounded course overall, I think. The short game, it's not easier on the greens. It's not hard. The greens are a little tricky, but they're usually not too fast from what I remember. So like you can get aggressive on putts. I just think they're a little trickier to read. Winning scores right in that primal range usually, I think, like right in that like 15, 18, 19 range, I'm pretty sure.
well,
I think
I mean, like I think it varies. I think the
yeah,
previous,
I think there
I
have been
it,
some
yeah,
variance now I think about it.
I think the 2 years that Burns won, it was up in that like 18 range. I know Hovland won it around like the 13 range last year. When Malnati won, that was in like the 12 under range. When Spieth kind of gagged it on Sunday in 2023, was it that? That was 13 under, 12 under. So I think the majority of them are actually in that 12 under-ish range, with a few exceptions in the past few years, of it getting maybe higher up to 18, which I don't know. It could be near that range again. Apparently, there's going to be some soft greens with some weather rolling in. Unfortunately, we hate that. We hate soft greens, but it is what it is. Um, But yeah, no, I kind of just agree with everything you said about the course. That there's a lot of variety, a lot of holes where I shouldn't say a lot, a few holes where it tells you like it gives you no other option to hit iron off the tee. A few where it's kind of dealer's choice. A few par fives where you can hit driver. If you're in the rough, you have a chance to go for it, but just off that rough are some disasters areas where you're completely boned. Like the 18th hole, I really haven't appreciated of like that's a tight ass fairway. There are some bunkers with some big lips in the fairway. There are some trees. I think Spieth was there in 2023 on 18 when he needed birdie. So it's a hard course. Like I'm probably gonna watch it deeply this week. So I'll have more appreciation for the course. But like as somebody who's watched golf for the last 12 years, maybe this tournament being usually right after the players, I haven't watched it as deeply as I should. But I still have watched it a decent amount. Nothing really sticks to memory, but I just like what does stick to memory is I like the course. I don't love it, but I certainly think it's borderline top 10 on the PGA Tour.
Yeah, I think it's well worded in the fact that it's not necessarily a very memorable course, but it's not necessarily it's memorable like the holes don't need necessarily to be memorable for the course to be memorable in the sense of you have a good time watching this tournament.
It's what I compare it to is, and I know what you were at this tournament and you told me I was wrong, which I like that's fine, but like just from a TV perspective, I relate it to a Pinehurst light where every kind of hole blends the same in my mind. I'm not saying it's near Pinehurst. From a pure TV viewing
Okay, yeah,
perspective.
I remember you having this
And
take.
I loved Pinehurst. Pinehurst was one of the great US Opens ever. But
Yeah,
like
I might
I couldn't really differentiate any holes. Like it was all kind of the same
yeah,
style.
I might rig you and put together a clip where you are basically comparing Innisbrook to Pinehurst, but
That would
and
be a
that would
great rig.
be
That's not what
yeah,
I'm
it would be
saying.
a great rig, but yeah,
It
I
all
think it
it's a
coming
light
from your
version.
perspective and your in the take that I know you have, um, I think that it's fair and it's a good comparison. I just disagree that Pinehurst isn't memorable. I basically could have named almost every hole in that course before I went to the tournament, um,
Oh, like I couldn't
just
do that.
through
Like
playing it on video games and stuff.
the
But
style is memorable. The hole to hole really isn't, in my opinion. But again, that's not a huge diss. I love every single hole. I love the entire tournament.
yeah, so yeah,
So
course we
I think we
have.
should go. I think we should have the people waiting, have them biting at the bit. I mean, we can kind of go into the guys. This will kind of tip our hand a little bit, but we can go into some guys who will not be on the outright card this week. And what's the guy we should start with? And we're going to tip our hand. We're not going to be betting on Justin Thomas this week.
No.
No. So, but I got dunked on putting it on the TikTok of right after he shot his 79 at Arnold Palmer, Bay Hill. I thought something very similar was going to be coming at the players, and he proved me utterly wrong. He balled out on the first 2 days, and he did not play well on the weekend. But I came away a little bit more impressed, honestly, with his weekend performance than his weekday performance Thursday and Friday, with the amount of grit and fight he showed. I feel like that's something that's been lacking from Justin Thomas golf over the past few years. Once the first implosion happened, it's kind of Spieth-esque where it just fully implodes. And he shot even par on a difficult Saturday after starting, what was it, +3 or +4? I know he went triple and then bogey, but I don't know if he made a birdie between before that. Either way, it was still an incredible fight back on that Saturday. And on the Sunday, too, like he showed some championship grit, knowing that, I mean, I'm probably not going to win this golf tournament, but Ludwig's collapsing. Cam Young and Matt Fitz, they're not completely too far ahead. They're like 3 shots, 4 shots ahead of me right now, and they're playing some tough holes. If I can get this in at 9 or 10 under par, there's a chance I win this golf tournament. And he was really just impressing me with how he fought. And that's just somebody who I don't root for Justin Thomas. Um,
Yeah,
but
I'll
I
always
just would
rig
say it's
Justin
what
Thomas when I can.
Yeah, I
What?
just don't think it's a sustainable model the way he did it, but I think when he's in this position next, which I don't think will be this week, um, it'll be a good performance on the weekend for JT. Just again, because that fight was something I haven't seen from him in a while.
Yeah. I mean, that's fair. I think another thing about Justin Thomas that I don't like is I think he pulled the win last year out of his complete buttocks and he will never putt ever again as well as he did last year.
I see. I thought the same thing, but he putted phenomenally at Sawgrass.
I think that it's a one-off. I just refuse to believe it, but maybe I'll
I I,
get.
st- I still do too. I still want to see more out of it, but like it's a fact he putted phenomenally at Sawgrass. But we'll see. I mean, like the driving accuracy is not good. I do agree. He kind of pulled the RBC win. I just remember the shot with his ball 2 inches from the water. That was hilarious. Um, Andrew Novak missing the 6 footer, but we don't have to relitigate this stuff. I would say Justin Thomas could. It's probably going to be bordering around a top 25 week for JT. If I had to say, Hovland, the defending champion, I don't love his chances too much this week. He was what T12 last week, and he was first around the green. Does that sound
Yeah,
sustainable to you?
no,
Not at all.
no.
Yeah, so and he won last year farting it his way around, in his own words. Great champion to do that, but just not a sustainable model. Matt Fitzpatrick is a guy that I feel kind of sore about not leaving off this card. Couldn't bet him with the number, but we did talk about this a little last night. You do think he's a bit more of a loser, a bit more of a choker than I do. Do you think a win is coming at all soon
True?
for Matt Fitzpatrick?
No.
Can you can you
I think he's had his time. He's got to go back. He's going to now kind of dwindle a little bit, and then he'll
uh,
come back up in the summer, and I think he'll contend at a major, but I don't think he's winning soon in terms of pre-PGA now.
see that's a fair take? It could be a small rise. I'd probably put this in the Phoenix range, the Riv Pebble, and then a bigger rise with the players, which that was a tournament winning 72 holes. He played phenomenally. I just completely throw your he gagged it away at the players. He did not. And he goes back down a little bit, and then a bigger rise at Birkdale. So I don't disagree with that take. And do you want to go a little bit deeper on one Jay Spieth before we get into our card?
No, because I have to look at some things before I release my weekly state of the Spieth.
Well, then I will because I haven't talked about
Yeah,
this
if you
one.
have some thoughts, I still need to look into a few things as to why I think he'll play well or he won't play well
A
this
few
week.
of your models. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm conflicted. I think he's going to play well. The two times we've really targeted a week for him to play really well was Phoenix, and that was a missed cut, and then Bay Hill, which Bay Hill, he did play well. It was a T11. It's just been his best finish of the year, but a signature event. He was never in it. Um, it was what was it? Not a good first round. Yeah, it was a terrible first round. It was a bad first round. So the two times our expectations for Jordan Spieth have been higher than anything else this year. We've expected this could be the weak contention, deep contention happens. It's not been there. So he does have the ability to disappoint. The driving accuracy, again, as I said, it's similar to Sawgrass as last week. It's not as important. We did discuss this as well. It's a little rigged, it's a little skewed, but still, it's important. Like 16, you got to hit the fairway. That's a hole where you cannot bail out on either direction. You have to hit the fairway. 18 is another one. Few of the par fives, you have to hit the fairway. And I just don't believe on those holes he's going to hit a quality tee shot.
Yeah.
But those are my negatives. My positives. I was listening to you and Mr. Jordan Carp. Um, Not rag on Mr. Mills, Jordan Spieth's putter.
I
But I don't.
certainly didn't. I said that it was not a worry at all.
No, I agree. It's not a worry at all. But like even just like for last week in a vacuum, it was an average. It wasn't a letdown. It was average because again,
Well,
um, are you? I don't
it,
know if you're aware. Honestly, this is a genuine question of 3 25 footers plus were made from an inch off the green, so those weren't attributed to the putting stats.
yeah, I guess I'm not aware of that, but
Yeah, so the putting stats really were like a neutral. They weren't even a loss, and that's factoring in a -5 Saturday, which was hilarious.
yeah.
So I think the putter is incredible. I think the wedges are incredible. I think this is a very high end wedge course. There's some long irons as well, but you're gonna get your wedge opportunities here. The short game is really turning along. What rings to my memory, you were talking about earlier how you think it's a fair short game test, not too difficult, not too easy. I just remember from his win in 2015, that might have skewed my memory a little bit of how hard it is around the greens here, but he probably just put himself in the three hardest positions on the 70th hole, the 71st hole, and the 72nd hole. Got them all up and down. Insanity. But he does chip it well here. I think my final verdict, I believe it's not going to be deep contention. It'll be light contention. And then, of course, not get the job done.
Well, thank you for that.
I,
Yeah, I think it's a
yeah,
good take. I think that he'll be there on Friday afternoon.
I was thinking more of like he will be there Saturday and Sunday, but it'll all
I don't think he'll ever reach 20 to 1 though.
see. I would consider 20 to 1 like light contention. I would say I
Well, he's
like
also way too high up on the board.
like yeah, no, that's a fact. But like in my mind, when I said that, I was thinking like 9 holes to go, he's down 4 or 5. So it's not completely ruled out, but it's never fully inside of the tournament.
Sure, that's fair.
And then you might win Valero.
Yeah, maybe he will. But yeah, that's fair. Yeah, in terms of the card, I think
And yeah,
that
well, hold on. There should be a drum roll. There should be an orchestra that plays us down from a red carpet. So if you can just close your eyes, imagine that as we unveil the attempt, the run at the Grand Slam.
it,
Thousands of
it
media outlets have been
it
talking.
sounds it has a real nice ring to it.
It does. It really does.
It does stink because unlike Rory, he doesn't get a chance every year. We have to win those three first to even have these.
Yeah, no, like
Um,
this isn't Rory who another version of himself gave him the opportunity and stinky Rory of like the 22s, the 23s, just like walked into this opportunity. We earned this. He was given that opportunity from somebody else.
yeah.
So,
So
without further ado,
it'll be Akshay Bhatia at the top of the board. Akshay is a uh, he's just a great player, man. He really is. I don't love him in the from the standpoint of he just won. I don't really think he's someone who's gonna win in a spurt. But
I think he could though.
he was the much better option of the other people we were looking at.
So he hasn't done it yet. His wins have been like he's been like a one win a year guy. But
Yeah,
I think like winning the Arnold Palmer was a step up. Like it was a continuous progression of his career. His career has never not been a continuous, nice, steep rise. And I think it's far within the realm of possibility that he takes another steep progression in his career as becoming a multi-win in a short span guy, especially when he's playing this well. Especially when I made the point yesterday of how like he played pretty well at Sawgrass last week in a completely different manner than the way he won the Arnold Palmer. Um, it's a way that fits this course. So I really like Akshay, man. Makes a few more putts than he did last week after putting his balls off at Bay Hill. I really like him.
Yeah, and I think Bridgman's kind of for the same reason that I don't like him necessarily as much, but he is just it's just not a very good field at the end of the day. Like they are kind of the big dogs in this field. So
So Bridgman is a second wager, just to clarify, but it's a big field in terms of names. But
they're
like,
just not very good golfers.
yeah, like Jordan Spieth, Justin Thomas exemplify that.
Yeah,
Patrick
that's just
Cantlay.
about as big as it is. After that, another one in terms of
Oh,
names.
I'd like to pause there. If you want to go a little bit more on Bridgman, you can. But like, I also want to. I have some thoughts on Bridgman.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead. Bridgman might be like the most fierce predator in waiting on the PGA Tour.
He's a
I
great
could
player, yeah.
I could not be higher on Jacob Bridgman. Really, he won't like he
He
was
could
in
win at Aronimink.
absolutely he could. I think he could win anywhere. He probably won't win Augusta this year just because like that course is so tried and true for it. You can't win there your first time. That's just his first Masters, right? Yeah. So, but like if it like that's the only thing holding me back from like picking him, like giving him consideration. But the fact that he just is in contention at the Players and just rejoins contention the amount of times he did after making a catastrophic mistake. And I don't know if you saw this on Saturday. It was during the time you should have been viewing on Saturday. He hits a perfect shot into 16, a high fade that lands short middle of the green, and it rolled into the water. And then after that, he makes the 40 footer for birdie. He's
Yeah, he's
maybe
pretty good.
he's probably the best putter on tour. He didn't hit it great with his irons last week, and to not hit it great with your irons last week and to contend at that course after you won at Riv by really 6 shots. I know it ended up being a 1 shot victory, but in my mind, that was a dominant 6 shot victory. Could have won at Pebble, could have won previous other times. He just keeps on coming. He keeps on contending. He doesn't have a media circus following him around like Jordan Spieth. I think he's an absolute predator. He's my official pick to win this week.
Fair enough. We absolutely robbed the books at this number.
It doesn't get better than this for Scratch.
Yeah, he's down to 20 to 1 now, and we grabbed Brooks Koepka at 41 to 1 at the start of the week. He was our first click. And
Not even during the start of the week.
yeah, not even during the start of the
It was
week.
the back nine of the Players when we were sweating out Cam Young.
Yeah, so pretty incredible stuff there. I just had a great week. He's just a great champion, so it can always be Brooks. I don't really have many more thoughts other than he's a great champion. Anytime you can get him in a number like this, when he's showing any sort of form, he can win. I mean, he can win when he's not even in form, but he's. It seems like he's at least got some mojo going. And another thing I just love about having Brooks Koepka on the card is Brooks Koepka is looking at basically everyone in this field and laughing at them.
That's so well said. I don't know if he's laughing at them just because it's not a major, but like
I think he genuinely thinks I think he genuinely wager like 1 million of his own money in a 1v1 against every single person in this field.
oh, of course, yeah. Like I still like I have ingrained in my mind the 2019 Saturday PGA of just like at that time, what was it? No, Spieth, they were tied to the 3 majors, Spieth first Brooks. And it was the biggest example of varsity versus JV in maybe the history of final group major championships.
Yeah, it's well
It
said.
was, um, yeah, one just like Brooks has been hitting the shit out of the ball the entire year. Like even like when he was missing cuts, he was hitting it good, and the putting is just getting slightly better. It's still not good, but the ball striking is major championship worthy. Whenever the putts go in, like he's gonna be right there at the top. It could be this week. It
Yeah,
will be this week.
yeah, I agree. Then we have our other official wager so far is Matty Schmid at 150 to 1. That's a great number. He's around 100 to 1 most places. So thank you, Hard Rock Sportsbook, for that one.
Make sure you take Schmid on Hard Rock. I don't have much
Yep.
thoughts on Schmid. I see him doing stuff. I trust Elise with the long shots
He's
as
just such a
always.
terrible putter on Sunday that I'll keep giving him chances because maybe they'll go in one of these times. Because he's just there all the time, man. And they're not even
Yeah,
just small tournaments. Like he was there at the Charles Schwab, which is a pretty good field. Um,
he was in contention for the first round lead at the Players, and then they made a quad.
yeah. And then
Did you
obviously he contended in Puerto Rico a few weeks ago, but
did you see the I think there was a viral video and just like conversation around Matthias Schmidt. He never tucks his shirt in. People want that shrunk.
I mean he tucks it in for some of it, I feel like.
Nope,
It's just like when
nope,
it
nope, nope,
goes
nope.
he definitely had his shirt tucked in at the start of Puerto Rico, the
Not
start of
as
the
of late.
round. It was untucked at the end of the round,
Well,
but
maybe it's tucked in at the beginning, but like what the point was, it's like it's not even half tucked in, half tucked out. It's full blown untucked.
oh, see, I thought that was the funniest part when he was putting for birdie on the last
Oh, I
par
love it.
five at the
Yeah.
Puerto Rico. When he was putting for birdie on the last par five of Puerto Rico, it was half untucked, half tucked in like three different spots. So what I'm gathering here by this discussion is that there's no consistency with the tucking from Matty Schmidt.
It will just be in some form or fashion. It will not be properly professionally tucked in through
Correct,
18 holes,
correct, correct.
which I'm on board for.
Yeah, I would agree.
Mhm.
Um,
And then we go
and
into
then
the biggest, yeah, we go into the biggest point of contention, uh, and irregularity.
yeah,
This won't happen often. I mean, the Grand Slam is on the line again, so we have to batten down the hatches. We have to make sure
yeah,
we dot all of our I's and cross all of our T's. I think that's the saying. We don't have it, or we the card is not finished.
yes. Schlaber didn't go to a good college, so we would not know that. But
I think I nailed that.
I think you did get it right, but I certainly am not. I certainly don't have much high confidence.
Arizona State,
We
the Harvard of the West.
it is the Harvard of the West. It really is. It's a really class institution.
Mm.
Number one in innovation in the country. So we'll take our flowers for that one.
I'm
But
gonna leave it. I'm gonna not comment.
yeah,
But go ahead.
it's number one in a lot of things. But we have yet to finalize our card, believe it or not. And it's between we're most likely going to take Alex Smalley. That's pretty much locked in.
Oh yeah, we didn't even talk about Alex Smalley.
Well,
That's
he's not locked in yet.
yeah, he's not placed, but he's confirmed.
No, I don't think Elise is
No,
confirmed. No,
pretty sure he was.
no,
I mean,
Elise said not to
okay,
place.
okay. So I could okay. I was
Um,
mistaken.
but he's basically confirmed. So it'll
Yeah,
probably be Alex Smalley. That's an Elise pick. That's right up her alley.
yeah. He played great at the Players last week.
Yeah.
He played good at the Players last week. He played great at the Players last year. I believe he played good at the Valspar last year. I think he's going to play good at the Valspar again this year.
Yes. So I think that's basically now where we get to where we're really
In the
we
mud.
we're very unexposed this week so far. Like if you include Somali, we're at around 2.75 units ish. We usually are around 3.1. So we can go less than our usual and take a Max Homa, or we can replace him with, say, Thigala or Connors. We haven't
Nikolai
figured it out yet.
Hoygaard.
Hoygaard,
I think there was
and
one more
all
name
and
in contention.
overexpose a little bit. Not sure what we're gonna do with.
Was there one last
Um,
name? Yeah. 1 second there. Uh,
hmm, I don't think so. Not that I can remember. At least
oh,
not in the heavy consideration.
his
Oh, it's
Hitsatune.
Hatsune. Yeah, but
Hitsatune.
he's so tipped that I don't think we'll be going with him.
There, he's probably the least likely, but that could be wrong.
Yeah,
This decision is out of our hands.
yeah,
Um,
we'll be posting him on the Twitter.
the Twitter and TikTok will have the finalized cards tomorrow. Um, Bridgman, Brooks, Batia, Schmid, locked. Smalley, 95% locked. and then it's really uh, put those 4 or 5 names in a ping pong machine and see what the master spits out.
Yeah, it's well said. Homa is the reason why we were thinking about Homa is he has been playing better. I don't think he's close to a win, but a lot of people who do win on the PGA Tour, um, you think aren't close to a win that are just playing okay and getting better each week. So that would kind
In
of
his
be
number,
it would for the number, it would be a taking a chance that he gets really hot one week and can capitalize. He does have the win equity historically as from a career perspective over the other guys, but yeah, I'm not too huge on Homa, but I'm also not huge on the other guys either. So I think Homa will probably end up be the decision if I had to guess. It's
I
could be
think.
Thigala. The only problem with Thigala is he's played 9 of 10.
Yes,
So
he's trying to qualify for big boy events other
yeah,
than
other
other like
than we don't even have
unlike
to mention his
unlike some
name.
pathetic other golfer
Yeah, correct.
not playing this week. Tagala's
So
Tagala's probably playing the best golf out of anybody in consideration, but that's a jarring stat. 9 out of 10 weeks.
it's tough to do.
Yeah, but like
Because
I mean,
he could lead after 3 rounds and just have nothing left in the tank in the last
yeah,
round.
and like really none of those weeks have been contention. Like he's
And
been
he's really
contention.
not playing this week to win either. He's playing this week because he doesn't have a choice.
Yeah.
So
Well, you would think that. Apparently, some other golfers think they have a choice.
yeah, well said. Just a top five I saw was a comment, but
Oh,
um,
that set me out of my shoes.
yeah, that was unbelievable. But then
And
there's
the bet Scotty
Connors.
Scheffler's going to play.
Then there's Connors, who is a capital L loser, but
He's a
he
cap.
is. I could see him being in contention Sunday more than the other two.
This was my argument was I was riding hardest for anybody in that content or that conversation for Connors, mostly because I know he hasn't won. His 2 wins haven't been on a course where driving accuracy is needed, but he's a driving accuracy player, and he has the highest floor out of anybody that we're talking about. I don't think that's disputable. Um, but the win, like he doesn't win, but like he's won twice. He's won at the same time of year both times. If he wins like every 3 years, he's kind of due for a win. I know it's tough to be due for a win when you have 2 career wins. I just think it's a decent week for him. He played really well at the Players last year, or he played well at the Players last week. He played well at the Players in 2025. He played well at the Valspar in 2025. I think he's going to play well at the Valspar in 2026. And the name of the game is just to have wagers on guys who are playing well with a chance on Sunday. And I think he would give us that. Now, it's a great chance he wouldn't get it done, of course.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think any three of those are necessarily winning. But I also looked at Nico Echeverria and laughed 3 weeks ago. So
Mm-hmm.
um,
We'll see.
yeah, I mean, we're honestly, it's a privilege to be so good at what you do that you almost fool yourself
Mm-hmm.
when you hit a winner.
Yes.
Um,
Just be aware, like the people will be known when the final decision is made. We have inside sources with CNN, with Fox News, with ESPN, major media outlets will be sending alerts on your phones when
yes,
the
yes.
golf cart is finalized.
Yeah, it will be. And there's a lot coming up for Scratch that's good, even if we don't hit it now, right? We got March Madness starting, which we've never lost. Mr.
Mm-hmm.
Slaver is about to get in the saddle.
I am
Don't
March.
tell his company that. Um, of course, the NHL is still ramping up, looking to bounce back.
It's gonna
Uh,
have to.
yes, for me at least, there's a lot to look forward to in the soccer world. You're gonna love this. Did you see the chat? The captain of the team that we play in the quarterfinals grew up as a diehard Arsenal fan and has an Arsenal tattoo. And he's the captain of the team that we're facing.
So, what's the biggest booster or like billionaire fan that Arsenal has? You'll see where I'm going with
Probably
that.
Piers Morgan.
No way he's the richest guy that's an Arsenal fan.
Well, no, probably not the richest guy, but he's the most
Okay.
famous, probably that I can think
So
of. That I
so
can think of
Piers
off the top of my head.
so Piers Morgan and a group of associates, it's probably going to.
I mean, I'm sure.
Well,
I'm sure
these
like
fucking
former players are richer than
yeah,
Piers Morgan, but
they're probably gonna offer this guy $80 million to sell and to rig the match for Arsenal.
it would be pretty chills. I don't think we'll need the rigging. Um, we got the biggest. We just got the best draw in the world. We're playing. We're not even playing a Power Five team.
Why not
So,
even in the SEC? Okay. What was the? I saw another soccer message of there was some rigging going on. Was that this or was that a
oh
different
my
thing?
God. So basically, what happened was, and then I gotta go. But this is pretty hilarious. So basically, what happened was in the AFCON finals, which is basically the Africa Cup, same as like what we play against Latin America and South America, and what Europe plays is the Euros. It's basically just a national competition of all of Africa. And what happened was Morocco, Morocco was awarded a penalty late,
Hmm.
and they in Senegal, it was such a bad call that Senegal protested it by walking off the pitch. Like they walked off the field, came
Hmm.
back 15 minutes later. Morocco missed the penalty. Then Senegal scored a winner in extra time. And then the higher ups at the Africa Cup of Nations, determined 2 months later that Senegal walking off the pitch was a forfeit. And so they are giving the win to
Oh, I would agree. That's ridiculous from Senegal.
it's just hilarious that they did it 2 months later.
Well, yeah, that's hilarious, of course. But like they were like, oh yeah, we're gonna take a halftime. We're just gonna take a second halftime.
It was the correct decision. It just was ridiculous
Yes,
that it happened 2 months later.
yes.
But
No,
yeah, that's your soccer spiel.
I'm
Shout out to
I'm sure
Arsenal,
that
big win today.
that's an incredibly serious sport. I'm sure.
It's an incredible. No, actually, Africa does have some pretty good teams, but only like a few. But their good teams are good.
Okay,
So
that's the scratch soccer spiel.
yeah. So who
All right, we're
knows?
on.
Maybe we can have Nolan Clay on for a video as the season ends.
Yes.
Yes, that would be
Maybe
fantastic.
we could have Nolan Clay on for some Valero insights. He'll
Yes.
be on site.
Yes. Well said. But yeah, I think that's all we have today. That's our keep your notifications on the Scratch Twitter. We will have our picks out tomorrow morning probably, and fingers crossed. Fingers
We,
crossed that the Grand Slam is achieved.
we'll be keeping you up to date throughout the week for the
Would
chase.
easily be the greatest Grand Slam in golf in since the turn of the century. Um,
Yeah. Like
by far, maybe ever.
be the greatest golf grand slam in history. 100%.
Yeah, much better than last year's.
No sham involved.
No sham. Yes, well said. That is well
Last
said.
year, last year wasn't a sham, but it wasn't as impressive.
Yeah. So it was a shame.